goodness, we are back. We're back. We're back. We're back. And I'm telling you, like, when I say that God is my boss, I really, really mean that. He is starting to bring people into my life where he is also their boss. And that is who I have on my show today. Her name is Dawn. She's a fabulous fashion designer, and she is going to share her fabulous story with us. So, welcome to Higher Signals, Dawn.
Hi. So nice to be on. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much because there's a lot of different people that I run into and I ask them to come on here and they don't have half as many things that are happening that you have in your life and they want to act like they're pretentious and different things like that. But I am so glad that you're down to earth and you responded and here we are. So, I would like to start with how did this start for you? This wonderful year that God has just taken over your life and placed you in places where only He can open the door. Please share your exciting story with us.
Okay, I'll try not to cry.
Like starting from the start, and then I'll chime in.
Okay, okay. Um,
Yeah.
like my story goes, I'm from a small town with 5 stoplights. I'm 53. I always wanted to be a fashion designer, and this was way before the internet. And people said you have to be from Paris or New York, and I'm from Powhatan, Virginia,
Right.
like 2 hours south of DC. And, they were like, you can never be a designer because you're from a small town. So throughout my lifetime, I worked at a bridal salon and Nicole Miller, and I was able to dabble in the industry, but never truly to this level. And I was a
Mhm.
teacher for 17 years and I sold medical equipment. And as soon as I would get home from work, I would go to the Neiman Marcus or Saks Fifth Avenue website and just study the designers. Not like I could afford all the designers, but just study them. And
Yes. Yeah.
so growing up, when you go to the checkout line with your mom, do you want a candy bar? I'd always ask for a Vogue magazine. So there's an ongoing joke that
Mhm.
I owe thousands of dollars for Vogue magazines over the years. Um, but the story, she said I paid it off. But anyway, so last year, women, I hope it's okay to say this, you think you're going through menopause. And
Yes.
um,
Yes.
I went through the whole year and the doctor said, if you experience something down below, please let us know. Well, I experienced something and
Mm.
I thought it was really weird. He said, if you do 3 times, call us back. Something's wrong. So a month later,
Okay.
happened and
Mm.
they tried to remove what they thought was cancer and they couldn't get to it. And so he said, we're going to have an emergency hysterectomy. I think you have uterine cancer.
Mm.
And so
Mhm.
3 weeks, I'm like, oh my God, do I have cancer? And I really just started building my trust and believe in God. Like I went to a church little, but nothing ever captivated me. You would draw
Mhm.
just sheets on the, crown I never resonated with any preacher. And so I really started saying, God, please, God, don't let me have cancer. Well, the doctor said during your 8 weeks of recovery, you need to wear some comfortable clothing because we have to cut your stomach open in 5 places and you can't have a waistband. So
Wow.
I imported some fabrics because I wanted something lightweight, silk. And I had a girlfriend of mine,
Mhm.
dress, and I said, let's just recreate the caftan. I mean, Jesus wore caftans pretty much. The long
Yeah.
dresses, a caftan is a long
Yes.
flow dress. And so I wore
Yeah.
them. 8 weeks later, I went to surprise my best friend in Florida for her 50th birthday. And we went shopping
Mhm.
day and I wore one of my pieces. And we went into a monkey's boutique. There's 64 of them around the nation, and the price points are $100 to $900. My pieces are 300. And one of the assistant managers
Okay.
was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I'm like, thanks. I'm the designer. That was like a surreal moment in my whole life. I've always wanted to say, I'm the fashion designer, and now it's coming out of my mouth.
Right.
So
Yes.
they,
Yeah.
they scheduled an appointment with the owner of the store a month later in July and
Mhm.
make the trip smart, flying from Richmond to Florida. I said, well, let's see what else we can get on the books. So we went to the monkeys. They bought 10 pieces. Or no, I'm sorry. They bought 20 pieces. And we walk out the store and me and my girlfriend Holly are like, oh my God, I think we have something here. So the next day
Yeah.
we walked into the Ritz-Carlton Sarasota. And just so happened the buyer was there and she bought 30 pieces. And we're like, oh, dear Lord, the Ritz Carlton just bought Airline. Like, we've got some great stuff
Yeah.
here because I don't know
Wow.
if you've ever dealt with the Ritz Carlton, but it's like a Neiman like
Uh-huh.
everything. Like she was looking at the stitching, like 5 stars.
Yes. Yeah.
So we had another day free before I had to fly back home. And this is the game changer part.
Mhm.
She's a grandmother of 50 and she has a 2 and a 3-year-old. Again, July, Florida heat, 5 degrees. And I said, Holly, God
Yeah.
is telling me you need to drive across state to Palm Beach. And she goes, Dawn, it's
Mm.
one way. We don't have any appointments. It's 97 degrees and to have a 2 and a 3-year-old. I said, God is
Mhm.
telling me we got to get to Palm Beach. Our people are in Palm Beach, Florida. Our clothing speaks Palm Beach. They can afford the clothing. Let's go. No, Dawn, we can't do it.
Mhm.
The next morning I woke up, I said, Holly, God's telling me again, I got chills. We got to get to Palm Beach.
Yeah.
By dawn, we'll go.
Mhm.
Okay. So the four of us upload in the car, drive to Palm Beach. I don't know if you know this about Palm Beach. Their high season is November to roughly March. And then at that point, a lot of these people own
Okay.
the Hamptons, Newport, so forth.
Mhm.
So like a ghost town. We
Yes.
get we get to Worth Avenue, which is like the Rodeo Drive or Fifth Avenue of Palm
Mm.
Beach. That's where Chanel and Louis and all the grand stores are. There were two people on the streets. I was like,
Okay.
uh-oh. And so we start walking. Well,
Mhm.
I really couldn't go into Chanel or Louis because it's their brand. And I really needed a boutique that
Right.
have other designers. So we start walking
Mhm.
with strollers in tow. And I had like 20 samples in the car. And my girlfriend Holly goes, look at that cute little courtyard. And I said, well, let's
Mm.
go. So we walked back through this courtyard and there was a store. And it's like caftans, sundresses, palm prints, and so forth. And I go to the door, it's locked. I'm like, and then I look up and I look down and there's another door. It was completely open. I said, Holly, God said, there's your door right there. It's an open door. God said, walk in that store. So we walk in the store
Yeah.
and I hear this angel of a voice goes, oh my God, your dresses, they're beautiful. So, because when she goes with me, she has to wear my stuff. And I was like, thank you,
Mhm.
designer.
Oh, that sounds like torture.
So,
I'm kidding.
long,
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I would love to wear your stuff. But yes,
no,
keep going.
I'll send you a girl. So, long story short, the store in Palm Beach, buy some pieces. So
Mhm.
now I can say I'm like on the Worth Avenue. It wasn't a huge
Yes.
order, but enough to say we're in Palm Beach, you know?
Right.
We
Right.
drive we drive back across state. It's at 11 o'clock at night by the time we get there. They're whipped. God bless the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old. They did great. So that's July. Okay. And in October, the Atlanta market is the big deal for manufacturers like me. It's where stores from all over the world, it's
Okay.
20 stores. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's where
No,
oh, girl, it's like a kid in a candy store. If you like to
but I
shop.
love fashion.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to either own a store, be a manufacturer to get in. Nobody could just go in because you sell them wholesale. Well, this beautiful woman
Yes.
comes over to me, and her name is Clarice. Like I would say 70s, just like the Jackie O, Chanel, look like polished. Like she walked into the
Mhm.
all like, this is their person. And so she had a store in North
Yeah.
Carolina. She buys some pieces. Well, then she looks at me and says, I'm on the committee for Palm Beach, and we do an event every year at Mar-a-Lago. And she looked at me, she goes, I don't know if you like Trump or not, but it doesn't matter. I said, my dresses have nothing to do with
Doesn't
politics. I
matter.
don't care. I'd go to any president's house.
Mhm.
And we're always looking for
Yes. Yes.
yes, Obama, bite me. Okay. I'm coming.
Yes.
Okay. So she
Yes.
said,
Yes.
we're looking for the newest designer and your stuff screams Palm Beach. And I was like, oh, I got a store in Palm Beach. So then she says,
Yeah.
what it costs for this fashion show. And I'm like, I'm a new designer. I don't got $7,500 to be on the runway, plus flights, B&Bs, so forth. She's like, God,
Right.
you need to pray on it. You need to pray on it, sister. I'm like, oh, trust me. I
Mm.
would love to say I'm at Mar-a-Lago. Who wouldn't? And
Right. Oh my
huh?
God. Yes.
Yeah.
I
I
said, oh
mean,
my gosh. Yes.
one of
Yes.
your political preference.
Yeah.
It's one of the most prestigious places in the United States to go.
Yes.
It'd
Yeah.
be
And
like,
the women there, they love fashion and they're fabulous.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So every month she's
Yeah.
calling me, Dawn, you got to get to Mar-a-Lago. Clarice, I don't got the funds. I don't. Okay. But we still
Mhm.
start picking stores. Okay. Well, I had two stores that owed
Yeah.
me $7,500 and they have to pay before I can ship the products. But on my end, I already paid for the fabrics. I paid my seamstresses. Like these products are ready to get out the door. So every
Right.
night, and I started changing my praying. Prayed in the morning, said the Lord's
Mhm.
Prayer, pray throughout the day, and I prayed at night. Well, one January night, instead of saying, God, send me sales, or God, get me on a magazine, or God, get me on the Drew Barrymore show, I
Mhm.
said, God, send me the people
Mhm.
help make my dream come true. That's all I changed. That's completely it. So
Yes.
every morning I like to walk 4 miles because we live in the country and it's just, you hear the birds, you can reflect, talk to God, whatever. Well, as I'm walking,
Right.
my phone goes off and the text message is, God told me to call you. I nearly dropped my phone. I was like, what? It's,
I love it. I love it. I
it's
love it.
Clarice from Atlanta. And then my phone rings.
Mhm.
She's like, You have been so heavy on my heart. And God comes to me numerous times a day. You've got to be in Palm Beach. If he tells you this is what you got to do, he will find a way to financially help it. We need to make a 3-way phone call. I said,
Mhm.
all right, Clarice, I'm listening, sister. So she calls in the head of Fashion Week. I didn't realize it was Palm
Yeah.
Beach Week. On top of Mar-a-Lago, then it's Fashion Week.
Mhm.
God. So this
Right.
lady looks at my website. She's like, your stuff does scream Palm Beach. And she's like, but wait a minute. To be in Palm Beach Fashion Week, you have to have a connection to Palm Beach. And I was like, I do. The Stormworth Avenue Design.
Mhm.
And she goes, Donna's store? I said, yeah, Donna's store. She goes,
Mm.
best friend. I said, shut the front door. And here's
I have
the
chills. I
background.
have chills because this is
Guy,
like God. It's so God. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. Go, go, go. Like I want to jump out of my skin. Oh my gosh. Yes.
yeah. So then she goes,
Woo!
oh my God, Donna is so picky. If she picked
Yeah.
you for her store on Worth Avenue, you're definitely worthy of Mar-a-Lago. I said, ladies, I get it, but I don't have the $7,500, because we had gone to
Right.
Dallas,
Right.
other expenses like you make a sale and you put it right back into the company. Like I haven't made a paycheck, but all my money's going right back into the company. So she's like, both
Mhm.
women pray about it. Oh, I prayed, sister, and I prayed big time that night. Next day at
Yes.
5 o'clock, both accounts that owed me $7,500 dropped into my bank account. So that's my oh
Yes. Yes.
God.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
made it to Mar-a-Lago. And
Mhm.
here's the other thing is that, I was telling my story and, like you got validated on Worth Avenue. You're worthy. I wore a palm print to sell my items in Palm Beach. We have Palm Sunday.
Mhm.
People palms on the ground when Jesus walked. Jesus wore Captain style dresses.
Yes.
But my surgery was March 19th, 2025. The fashion show was March 19th, 2026. So to 1 year of me launching it. There were 12
Yes. Yes.
you tell me.
Wow. That's
So,
God. It's God. He's all over it. Yes.
yes.
And the funny
So,
thing is, a lot of people think that God would not be interested in fashion. But I tell people all the time, I'm like, hello, God was the first designer. Okay. When he made the outfits for Adam and Eve, because I get judged a lot by church folk, because they're like, you're not supposed to
yeah.
wear makeup. You're not supposed to want to wear couture and all this other stuff. And I'm like, honey, God is the original creator of everything. So no, go
Mhm.
somewhere with
Yep.
that. So I'm just like, ah, okay. So keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So
Yes.
we get back to Palm Beach, and 2 days later, I'm sitting out
Uh-huh.
on our back and I'm going through my Instagram and I'm like, what is this for Monaco Fashion Days, Monte
Mhm.
Carlo? Oh my God. I run to the house. I said, Jason, I've just been invited to be on the runway as the newest designer for Monaco. He was like, what? I'm like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
I got the cost of that trip. Okay. I think I had about $1,000 in the account and the
Hmm.
trip roughly 15,000. I said, you know what? His bill, he got me. He's going to provide the other 14,000. I immediately text the girl, yes, I'll be there in 6 weeks. And we did.
Oh
So
yeah.
at the end of the runway in Monte Carlo, I win newest fashion designer of the year. I was the only designer from the
Hmm.
United States. And 2 days later, we're featured in Vogue, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, Marie Claire, Leah Fischel, and 10 more that I can't even remember the names. Then we get on the fashion TV Then I've been invited to Paris and Milan Fashion Week. Then Anthropologie heard the
Mhm.
story and their designs, and that's what I got.
Right, right. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. And the part that I love the most is that you are not ashamed of your relationship with God. Like through all of it, you're giving the glory to God. You're talking about God. You're like being led by God. It's like, okay, let's go to Palm Beach. Let's just walk. Let's go into this open door. And then it turns out that the lady is the Fashion Week lady's best friend. Like, I got chills. I have chills. Like this is amazing because this is the type of stuff that people need to hear. It's like, oh, I get
Oh,
like when like the Holy Spirit comes on me, I get emotional, y'all. So just
oh,
ignore it. But it's
the
like,
water.
wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, I walked the
Wow.
runway. My daughter wanted to be on the runway with me. I'm like, absolutely. We get back and they're like, oh, we have an
Yeah.
award to you won newest design of the year. And I'm like, come again? And I literally dropped to my knees and prayed right there at the runway. I don't think anybody's ever done that,
I
but
saw it. I saw it. Yes. It's on your
yeah.
TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, it's on your TikTok. So the angels, the holy angels, that's who I connect with. They're asking me to ask you, where did you get the audacity of faith from? There has to be a story in your life other than 2025 where like cuz faith is a gift that you have. I hope you realize that.
Only
like
till really, I mean,
yeah, just stepping out.
I was an alcoholic for 25 years and I went to rehab 9 years ago and I've been sober since then and I haven't had one slip up. So, I mean, it's just,
Okay.
slowly but surely it's been picking up. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just give and everybody kept telling me like Clarice, she helped get
Yeah.
me. She's like, God's telling, like, she'd call me at 1 o'clock in the morning. Dawn, God told me today that you need to start
Yeah.
making your clothing for sale. Yes, ma'am, I'll do that. This last year. And then thinking for 3 weeks you have cancer and you don't. I mean, it could have been
Mm,
cancer. I said, nope, not that's not your
right.
time. I'm going to teach you something. And
No.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, wow, and the part of you saying, like, it's only been 1 year, and, like, the book ends, like, you're like, "March 19th, 2025, I was in a hospital bed. March 19th, 2026, I'm on the runway in Monaco." Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, that's, like, super amazing, and
And truly the
you
first,
went for it, you know what I mean?
you know,
Like, yeah,
huh?
you went for it.
Well, even the
You
first
went
week,
for
really,
it,
until
you
July,
know?
really hasn't been in the first 1 year since
Yeah,
sold. More
yeah,
people have been inviting me to do things. And at this point, when every night I say, God, send me the people. So when I get invites to do something, you never know where your
yeah.
podcast take you or me or anybody.
Right,
So,
right.
the
Yeah, no, that's so true.
least
Yeah,
expect.
that's how I live my life too. It's like,
Yeah.
God told me this a long time ago. He was like, "I'm gonna put you in a season of yes. You have to say yes to everything because I'm tired of you hiding. So it doesn't matter who it is, what it is. If somebody comes up to you and they ask you to do something or they ask you to be a part of something, your answer is yes. Of course I'll do it."
Yeah.
And as you were talking, the scripture that came to mind for me was faith without works is dead, because we can have the dreams, but if we never put any action behind the dreams, how is God supposed to get you in front of the world?
Right.
Like if you are too shy to walk into a store just because you heard the voice of God tell you, you got to go to Palm Springs, and your obedience, you did it. Like you didn't know what was going to happen when you
Mm.
went, but you were just like, girl, listen, we got to go. And you
I
went,
thought,
and it's like you had two babies with you, but it didn't matter.
no,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. And, and then I tell people,
Mhm.
that's why I like document almost everything on social media because a lot of times you hear stories
Right.
of, Elon Musk or other great business people in the
Hmm.
world, all you see is their success or their yachts. Nobody
Yes.
knows floods. Like I literally work 7 days a week and 10, 11 o'clock at night, I'm Googling fabrics or, you
Yes.
work, but it doesn't feel like work because it's my dream. It's what I've always wanted to do. Now,
Right.
that site does feel like work. I don't like doing that.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally understand you because like that's how I am with what I do. Like, my mom will be like, "You're still up, it's 3 o'clock in the morning." And I'm like, "Well, to me, it's like 3 in the afternoon, you know?
Mhm.
I'm just working on my craft and doing what I love."
Yeah,
Yeah,
and as a
yeah,
former
and the reason why I say, like, you and I have a lot in common
Mhm.
is because in 2025, at the beginning of the year 2025, I had 3 emergency blood transfusions, and I almost just walked right up out of here, walked into glory. Yeah, I almost died. And as I was in the hospital receiving those transfusions, I was like, "Are you happy with your life? Have you done everything that you said you were gonna do as a child?" And the answer was, "Hell no." And
Right.
so I said right then and there, I said, "I don't care if I have to crawl. I don't care if I have to, roll roll my way there. I'm going to get there." And on this little phone right here, which is not a, fancy phone or whatever, I wrote 4 books. 4 books while being homeless, basically, like running for my life, like running from an ex that I had, was involved with. And yeah, so God can do a lot of things. And just from doing that, I got on Substack and I've met people, and then here we are. I have a podcast.
Congrats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
out
I
of that
like when I heard your story, I was like, "Ah, this sounds familiar."
yeah. Well, I get a lot of messages now because some of those TikTok videos have gone crazy for me.
Yeah.
What harder? What I said, tell everybody you know what you want to do. Talk like somebody will say, "I want to be a jewelry maker. I design jewelry." And you go look at their page, and there ain't the first bit of jewelry on there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
tell what you want to do. You know, and I
Right.
was in this last year. I worked 4 jobs. One that paid $10 an hour. I also decorate people's homes for Christmas,
Mhm.
and then I was trying to do this, and then
Right.
I forgot I was selling construction. Yeah. So you have to hustle
Mhm.
your to financially afford to do
Yes.
this. Some people have the lazy gene.
Yeah.
I didn't get I'm so grateful
Yes.
I did
Yeah.
gene. You
Yeah.
got
Yeah, so true. Or just the dream about it and never do anything about it, Gene.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna sit here and talk. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Okay, well, where's the work? You know?
yeah. That's one
Where
thing I
is the
love.
effort?
You've probably seen that picture of Jeff Bezos sitting his garage with the poster board that said Amazon. I'm like,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
brother, kudos to you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, because he started in a garage. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, don't knock humble beginnings because you never know
Mm-mm.
what God is going to do. And there's a lot of people, especially in 2026, where they're like, well, if you don't have like over 30 followers, I don't want to be associated with you. And I'm like, honey, my daddy owns everything. And when I say daddy, I mean God in heaven. And I'm like, you have no idea who you just snubbed. You don't know. And I'm like, I'm going to have lots of Julia Roberts pretty woman moments where it's like, do you work here? You work on commission, right? Big mistake. Yeah, just like a
Dude,
huge mistake that you didn't take me seriously. You know?
well, the thing is
Yeah.
about followers who's on your follow list. Like on Instagram, I think I have 1,300, which isn't a lot, but I have some of the celebrities of Palm Beach following me and literally calling me on my phone,
Right.
"Don't sign me a piece." So there's that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, honey, this is a real world. Like, I know social media is social media, but in the real world, it matters who you know, what you know, and how you know. So don't think that just because I have small numbers on social media that I'm small in real life, you know?
More is
Yeah.
more. Less is a bore.
Yes, yeah. And I don't say that out of ego or trying to flex, but it's true. Like when you're on this side of the camera and being a podcaster, I see humanity for for what it is. And I'm just like, okay, here's another one with a big head. I have more important podcasts to do. And I'm just like, okay, I wish you well. Wish you well. Hopefully it goes well for you.
Yeah. I was when I was walking
Yeah.
and that's another thing. I used to listen to like music, but now I listen to sermons because I don't always. It's funny. My grandfather was a
Oh,
Baptist.
nice.
Mother's a Baptist minister, but I
Yeah.
listen to sermons or important lessons in the Bible. And today I was talking about you always have to be humble and don't be prideful.
Yeah, no.
Give all
No,
the
no,
glory.
no, no. No,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it all goes to God. And it's funny because like I'm a complete spiritual person. I'm out the closet spiritually. I talk about all kinds of things. And a lot of people, they don't know how to take me because they're like, okay, is she like, what is she? Like, they're always trying to put me in a box. And the easiest that I can say is I'm a high priestess of El Elyon. If you know El Elyon, that is God Most High, that is our Father who art in heaven, you know. And I love the fact that you gave specifics about you prayed the Lord's Prayer because people, they don't understand the power of that prayer, you
Hmm.
know? Like it is a faith exercise when you pray that prayer daily because there's parts in it where it says, "Give us today our daily bread." You know, it's not give me the whole week, the whole year in one day. We have
Right.
to walk our faith out. We can't just be like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and God's going to bring stuff to me. Like I keep bringing that up because that's like the what the angels keep telling me. They're like, you need to focus on for your audience. Faith without works is dead. So you can believe something all you want, but if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the effort, if you don't believe in you and the gifts that God gave you, and that's another thing, like what you said, tell everyone what you do. And I remember like when I started telling people I'm an author, and people would look at me that have known me for a long time. They're like, "What?" And I was like, "That's who I am. I'm an author. I write books."
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I do. Hi, if you haven't met me, let me reintroduce myself. And it's funny because you do need to talk about what you do
Oh
because
yeah.
other people aren't going to do it for you.
And trust me, coming from a small town, I had a friend of a friend. I don't consider this other
Yeah.
person a friend, but they're like, those things are just ugly. Like, who's going to pay $300 for a dress? And my other girlfriend looked at her and said, obviously the Ritz Carlton did. So trust me, you've got,
What?
hmm, yeah. You know, some people hate
No,
you no
those
matter.
are that's a hater. That's a hater because nothing that you have created is ugly at all. I looked
Well,
at your whole collection. I love everything. And I'm like, whoa, somebody had the nerve to say that? Wow.
well, I've learned to like consider the source, and I'm like, well, okay, well, are they Vogue?
Right.
You know, like she's always
Yes.
cut off jeans and like a t-shirt with stains all over. Like, why do I even care? Like, my brain is not for thought because she doesn't know how to decorate a Christmas
Yeah.
tree, doesn't know how to dress. It'd be different if it come from
Right.
the stuff on of Vogue, but I'm
Right.
not let her
Right.
get my
But even
brain.
then, if
It
God gives
doesn't
you a
matter.
dream and he tells you to do it, even if
Right.
it comes from the head of Vogue, sometimes you have to be like, "Psh, my whatever. You're just
Mm-hmm.
one person.
Oh, yeah,
You're not my
sure.
audience, honey."
Right.
Yeah.
And even a lot of
Yeah,
those
you gotta have that type of faith.
fashion magazines, like, they'll promote different runways, and this might bring me some
Mhm.
hate. The way I see it, it's the truth. Like the models that walk seriously and they have like the chairs on their head, like that's not fashion to me. Like when my girls went out on the runway, I
Yeah.
said, smile, flirt, blow kisses. Like I love the Victoria's Secret show because those girls are rocking it. They look like they're,
Yes.
if you look like you're having fun, then the clothes are fun.
Right.
You know, serious
Yes.
smile.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah.
Yeah, because we want to picture it as you're gonna wear it, you know? I watched your runway shows and it brought joy to me because I was like, wow, those people are they're having fun. They're not there. It's a job. Yeah, they're getting paid. But I could tell that the girls were like, what do you mean? Like, okay, my mind, I'm still gonna walk, but I'm not scared that the designer is going to fire me because like I tripped, you know?
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. There were 2 videos, and one because of the copyright laws, but before we went in, and Pitbull, if you're
Hmm.
listening, brother, you better be listening. I played my music, and being the girls backstage, we were just back there. Like I had them pumped before they walked out there because I wanted fun music too, you know? I think the next
Right.
run, Michael
Right.
something.
Oh, I love Michael Jackson. I love
Girl,
Michael Jackson's music. What song?
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. What song do you think you'll pick from him?
Got me working day and night.
I love that song. I love that song. I listen to that song for motivation. Like when I am feeling just like kind of tired or whatever, I put that on and I'm like, yep, 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 let's go, let's go. You gotta work,
Yeah.
you gotta work.
He would be good for a runway, but I like something really upbeat. I grew up with Michael Jackson. I love everything about him. So,
Yeah, me too.
I like fun upbeat.
Yeah.
And that's Pitbull. I love his music because and his Caribbean vibe clothing and. So
Yeah, yeah, no, he's an awesome person. I've never met him, but the stories that I've heard about him, he seems to have his own battles that he stood up for himself and all that greatness. I wanted to ask you, what do you look for in a model? Or are the models already pre-selected?
well, I learned something on this last show because they send us their comp cards where they're all like, and it gives their height and weight, and they're all gorgeous. But
Mhm.
then I told I'm doing Charleston Fashion Week too. I said I want to see them walk because
Mhm.
there were two that didn't really have the walk down. Like I wanted to not ooze sexiness, but I want a woman that's like
Right.
confident, that's smiley, that's flirty,
Mhm.
not that's not slow kisses, that's confident. Like I'll take a 200,
Yeah.
pound woman in there if she feels sexy and confident in her body. We're all not going to look like Kim Kardashian, whether you love her or hate her. The girl's got a great figure. You know what I'm saying? Or J
Yeah.
Lo.
Yeah.
But a confident one, and I
I love
love a woman.
J-Lo. Oh my God, I love J-Lo.
Would you say?
I said I love J-Lo. Like that is my person. She doesn't know it yet, but like I picture her as like my bestie, J-Lo.
Yeah, J Lo, you need to wear one of my dresses, girlfriend. Mhm.
Yeah, she does. She would rock it. She really would.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a real stud one, so yeah, she could definitely rock it.
Yeah, that's funny that you bring up J-Lo because for my 1 year anniversary of life, I that's what I did. I went to go see J-Lo in Vegas. And it was amazing. I sat there, I was crying because I was having a moment, because I was like, this time last year, I was in the hospital receiving blood transfusions, and here I am bringing in the new year with J-Lo. It was great. She puts on a great show.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's got a great documentary too. I
Yeah, she
remember her
is.
as a flag girl back in the day. So yeah,
Yes, yeah, and In Living Color. In Living Color
yeah,
helped a
yeah.
lot of people get their start. They
Hmm.
did. They did. A lot of good people, Jim Carrey, the Wayans, but that was their show. That was their production. They own that
Uh,
show, the
yeah,
Wayans brothers.
Wanda.
Yeah. Yeah. So how are the ladies in Palm Spring? This is like so interesting how my angels work because I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I do, the angels select different programs for me. And just recently, I watched The Women of Palm Springs or something like that. It was on Netflix, but it was about the women that run Palm Springs. And I was like, I had no idea all of that stuff was going on in Palm Springs.
Well,
It's very
okay,
interesting.
it's Palm Beach because there's Palm Springs and Palm Beach. So
Palm Beach.
you would
Okay, so Palm Beach and then Palm Springs. Sorry,
right,
Palm Beach. Thank
okay.
you for
There,
correcting me. I don't want to like
well,
mess up
well, I
Florida, but yeah.
and then there's West Palm Beach. Palm Beach
Yeah.
is the business.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so you probably watched
Okay.
the TV
Yes.
late.
Yeah,
And,
there was something on Netflix about the rich women in Florida, and they were talking about Mar-a-Lago. Of course, they were members there. And then they were
uh
talking about etiquette and bringing in new people. It was a very interesting show.
yes. So before I went to Mar-a-Lago, Clarice, who discovered me, she's like, I
Hmm.
want you to TV show. Well, long story short, I've been to one of their houses. I've dressed a couple of them, Gail and Rosalind.
Nice.
So when I went to Rosalind's house, I said, I know y'all really don't talk about your friends like that. Cause I looked at her, I said, you couldn't be one of my friends if you really talk to people like that. She's like, a lot of it is,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
for publicity.
So it's like scripted.
What they wear on the show is not truly accurate of like Worth Avenue is like Jackie O tailored,
Okay.
my own. I mean, they will wear like my pieces because I've
Yeah.
sort of liked there, but very no girls showing, no booty showing.
Yes.
You
Right.
know, Jackie O. If Jackie O was here, that's where
Yes.
she. And look at
Yeah.
Melania.
I love Jackie.
What?
I love Jackie O. I love Jackie O. That's another one of my people that within history that I hold. I don't say an idol because I don't idolize anybody, but it's women that I
Right.
look up to, and she's definitely one of them.
Right. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like I love the Real Housewives of New Jersey and I really don't watch them a lot of TV, but a lot of those shows the women have like all their goods out. I believe in covering all the goods up
Yeah.
and leave some imagination, and that's
Yes.
how the women in Palm Beach are. They're
Yes.
all up, classy, not trashy. And
Okay.
they're
Yes. Yeah. Which is
those
I love that.
yeah, they're just the frill you walk down the street, "Hello, how" like, they speak to you, they're just poised, confident, no elbows on the table, just classy, genuine, nice people.
Nice.
Literally the nicest people I've ever met, for sure.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah,
Yes.
because on the show, unfortunately, that was not the vibe that was given for that area, but I knew that it was just a show, and then I'm like, "Okay, so now I know why they had me watch that." Okay, because here
Yeah,
you are.
not a
Yeah.
of the people down there. The ladies that I've met from the show
Yes.
are really nice, but it does not
Yeah.
give Palm Beach the etiquette and the grandeur of truly what the cleanest city. Clean. Just
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
Palm Beach is like Monte Carlo, like the yachts.
Yeah.
I mean, just opulence everywhere for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely
That's
go.
cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Definitely go.
But no, I love, high tea at the Ritz-Carlton. That's where I go now because I used to go to the Four Seasons, but they closed it, and I'm like, "You need to open it back up because it was fabulous. Your lemon curd was amazing."
I wonder why they closed it.
Yeah, they closed where they do it, in the place I'm at, so maybe another location, they still have their high tea, but, where I'm at, no, we have to go to the Ritz, so but theirs is good too. Theirs is good.
Yeah, shucks. I hate when I have to go to the Ritz.
Yeah.
That always
I
happens.
know, right? Like, oh, I just have to do it. No, but it's a tradition that I started with the women that I love. And so every special birthday or celebration, we all go there and we just gab and drink our tea. And I tell
I
people all the time, I'm
love
like, I feel like I was born in the wrong era. Like, I
yeah.
need to be born in a different time.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love Oh, real quick to go back
Yeah.
with saying, you were saying something about like where when you're starting off with the business and because I've had
Hmm.
people ask me about, like, well, where's your stuff manufactured? And I
Yes.
COVID truly helped a lot of people with this. Like, you're seeing my kitchen. Most of my business work is done right here at this island. I do have an office downstairs.
Yeah.
I looked at factories in the United States and factories in India and China.
Hmm.
My seamstresses work out of the comforts of their home. I have a
I
team of,
love that.
and they've sewn for about 20 yes, and some of them homeschool,
Uh-huh.
some of them take care of their parents if they want to spend an hour each day or 4 hours each day. And, I got some kickback of like, what do you mean you don't have a factory? Why would I rent a building, have AC, have more insurance
Mhm.
products, so much more on the back end? When these women, they're not going to get burnt out. I'm not standing over top of them. We're all grown adults.
Right.
I can go,
Yeah.
if all live within 45 minutes of my home. I was just at one of their houses yesterday saying, let's try this design. We're taking this piece here and this piece here, and let's not do that. Like, I couldn't do that in China or
Yeah.
India against those countries, but I couldn't do that. And then shipping and tariffs. So all my pieces are made right here
Yes.
in Virginia.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because a lot of people, they're looking for made in the USA. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I know that I'm one of those that I really like to see that on the designs that I wear, like if it's made right here in the US. But there are some things, some pieces that you can't get in the US, and that's fine too.
Oh yeah. I import the
Yeah.
fact that's the best silks come out of Asia. And eventually I would
Yeah.
like solid pieces with some heavy crystals for more of like because somebody said you need to be at the Met Gala. I'm like, trust me, I want to be at the Met Gala. But
Yeah.
wedding wear or evening gown. So, all those pieces have to be brought in as well. But people don't understand.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, USA, I pay my seamstresses very well. So don't complain
Yeah.
about made in the USA, but you don't want to pay the made in the USA prices because that comes with the cost. But I'm no
Yeah.
charge for being harmed with the construction of my clothing line.
Yeah, definitely. What advice would you give to anyone that has a dream, but they also, how can I word this? Yeah, just like that. What advice would you give to people that have dreams?
Well, first of all, make God your CEO because not just in your dream, but in your life. And talk to him. Things
Yes.
really took when I started talking about him numerous times a day. Um, but
Mhm.
but don't do what I did. And maybe obviously this is the path God wanted me to do. You know, at 5 years old, I was told I couldn't be a fashion designer. Don't listen to anybody. And even now, like I still have some, those are never going to sell. I mean, my God, no offense. Look, Crocs. They're one of the most ugliest shoes in the world, but they've sold trillions, you know?
Yes, yes, yeah,
No Crocs.
I
No
agree.
offense. No offense.
Ew,
And
I
it
hate them. I
just,
hate them. You will never
ah,
see me in those.
and the same thing with like the industry. Like some people, like I'm not big into heavy metal music, or look at some artwork
Right.
where 5 lines and it gets sold for $10 million. There's your people are
Mhm.
out there. You just have to find your people. Most of my people are apparently
Yes.
but they're
Right.
all God. We come from all different walks of life. So if somebody says you can't do it for me, if somebody says, Dawn, you can't do that, oh, you watch me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it 20 times better than when you're telling me that I can't do it. So don't listen.
Yes.
If God gave you the vision,
Yeah.
if He put it in your heart and that's all you can think
Mhm.
about it, honey, that's your dream. Go for it. Be like Nike and just do it. Just do it.
Yes. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Like, oh, I have chills because it's like I get the guest that I need at the right time because like these are my private conversations with God right now. I'm like, okay, there are no more excuses that are coming from me. I'm just doing it. And so that's like the type of videos that I've been putting out. I'm like, live your life, do it. Like, stop waiting. What are you waiting for? Like,
Yeah.
because now that I'm living in my dream, I'm like, girl, we should have started this like 15 years ago.
Right. And
Just imagine what God could have done if I would have started this 15 years ago.
well, that's another thing. Like we have
Yeah.
a born date, we have an end date, and then there's that dash in between. Make the dash count. You know, ask
Yes.
you were in a car accident and you're laying in the hospital bed tomorrow, and the doctor says
Mhm.
28 hours to live, and you're like, damn, I wish I'd gone to Paris. Damn, I wish I'd done this. Do it
Right.
now, especially while you can physically do it, you know, and like I'm
Yes.
I'm 99.9% sure I'm gonna be on the runway in Milan and Paris. It's gonna cost every bit of 20 I think they count,
I
but
see
God
it.
right away.
I
It's
see it.
happen. It's
I
gonna happen.
see it. I have the faith with you. I
Yeah.
see you getting at the Met Gala because they need help. I have been watching the Met Gala since I was a little girl. And just recently, I've been like, Lord, please help them because nobody is ever on theme. I don't know what we're doing, but we need to bring uh, we need to bring class back to fashion. We need to bring the wow factor back to fashion. I am so bored. Not with you, but like just like with fashion that I see right now. It's like, where is the inspiration?
Or
What is
some
going on
stuff
here, people?
well, yeah, some of the stuff they feature in magazines, I'm not gonna say which ones, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Who told you that was fashion?" Or who would
Yeah. Yeah. That's me too. Yeah. I'm like, I don't like it. We need to bring back the art.
Yeah. Real quick, I love how you
I
talk
don't
about
want people looking like everybody. I'm tired
yeah,
of it. I
um,
want I want people to look like themselves, you know?
right. I love how you talk about
Yeah.
angels, and I worked, a couple years ago, I
Yeah.
developed exotic skin pillows and they never took off, but this was God's way of teaching me how to
Oh.
sew. And this lady comes up to me and she goes, she started talking to me. I'm like, well, what do you do? And she goes, I'm actually a medium. And I'm like
Mhm.
angels? And she's like, yes. And she looked at me and I was wearing a scarf because it was in the wintertime and it was this boutique here in my county. And
Yeah.
she's the angels are telling me that you're going to this was 2 years ago. I totally forgot about this until you
Mhm.
start because the angels are telling me that you're going to be a fashion designer and it's not going to be just accessories. It's going to be clothing and you're going to be a celebrity on the red carpet very soon.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the part where where I meant like people don't really know how to take me because when I say like, "Oh, I connect with angels," people look at me like, "What?" But God is using me to allow people to that's going to become standard, you know? Like a lot of people they're like, "Oh, that's supernatural." And I'm like, "No, we are supposed to be living in the supernatural. The supernatural is supposed to be our natural." Like if you are a daughter of God, if you're a son of God, you're supposed to be experiencing miracles, angels, all of the great stuff in the Bible every single day. So that's part of my mission is to just talk about it until it becomes trendy. And then I'll get a new assignment.
Yeah, you're gonna be the fashion designer to bring God to the runway. I said, "Well, he dropped me to my knees, so there's that." Yeah, I will. I'm not. And
Yes.
if you want to hear
No,
me
and
talk,
the great thing about that is, like, nobody was embarrassed.
no, I got a standing ovation.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. I love it. Because
Uh-huh.
I've had people on my show where I know that they have a relationship with God, but because they think that I'm whatever kind of way, or they feel like this is going out to the public, they'll be like, "Well, not this and not that, but this." And I'm always just kind of like, "Why don't you just give God the glory?" Like, why are you so embarrassed about God? He's not embarrassed about you. He's not embarrassed about the talent that he gave you. So just talk about it. And just like you said about Mar-a-Lago, I've had people recently come to me, like, I never tell my political views.
Right.
I will if God ever tells me to, but he hasn't given me the okay to do that. But I don't care who God puts me in front of. If
Yeah.
God tells me to go and represent, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, it's not my place to judge anybody. They're human just like me. And I'm so tired of people being like, "Oh, well, I can't talk about this and I can't associate with this." And I'm just like, "Can you just be real? Can you just be you?" Like,
Yeah.
if you were dying and let's say the paramedics showed up, you're not going to stop them and say, "Who did you vote for?" "Wait, I don't want you to save my life because you voted for the wrong person." Like, shut the hell up. Okay? Like, no, let's stop this BS. Let's bring the country back together. And the country that I grew up in, it's my freaking business who I vote for and my political beliefs, you know?
Well, the
So,
video I posted back in February 14th, and it got like 1.4
yeah.
million views. And I was like, it doesn't matter if it's a Trump's house. And what the
Yes.
best of the entire thing was somebody wrote, "I never thought I'd be happy to see somebody at Mar-a-Lago, but here I am." Congratulations, sir. And I'm like, you got the message. You
Yes.
got.
Yes, yes, because sometimes we cut off our own blessings. You never know where your blessing is going to come from. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's like, I don't care what you are. If you're a good person and God brings you into my life to help me and have me help you, that's all that matters. I'm not going to
Amen.
be like, oh, as long as you're not hurting anybody or doing morally wrong, that's where I have to draw the line, But
Right.
like, if you're a grown person doing grown business, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah,
I do a million.
that's your life. You're gonna have to stand before God for yourself. I'm not gonna be there,
Mhm.
just like I'm gonna have to stand before God for myself. And it's not going to be broadcasted to everybody,
Yeah.
you know?
I always tell my daughter,
Yeah.
do what you would do. What would Jesus do in this situation, sister? You know.
Sometimes he would slap somebody. Sometimes he would.
Well,
Sometimes he would.
because my daughter got up from school one day and she's like, "I just wanted to slap somebody." And I was like, "Carlin, that is
Yeah.
what would do." And she goes, "Well, can I flip a table?" Because he did flip a table. I was like, "I can't be mad.
Yes.
Listen to me preach the Bible. You're right. Flip the table. I don't care."
Yes. Yeah. No, my mom loves to tell me, she's like, because she's watched me my whole life. And so I'm a very sweet person at heart. But God had to take me through some things to whereas he's like, you got to become more like David, where you strategize, not like where you're trying to hurt people, but you gotta bring about your warrior type more because people sometimes they would look at me and they would be like, "Ooh, that's easy prey," And it's
Uh-huh.
like, "No, I'm not that easy. I'm not that stupid. I'm a good person and I love everybody, but if I have to tell you about yourself, I will tell you about yourself. I
Uh-huh.
will." Yeah. And
We're
so my mom will
another
be like,
minister.
"You can't do that to people." Yeah, she'll be like, "You can't do that to people. You're doing it too much." And I'm like, "No, mom, because David, King David, on his deathbed, I was like, he gave a list to his son Solomon of enemies that he had not had a chance to go after." And he told his son on his deathbed, "Make sure you get these people for me."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's right there in your Bible. So it's not always turn the other cheek. Yes, we want to do that in most situations, but there are just some snakes out there where you got to cut their heads off in the name of Jesus. Okay. And my mom was just like, what? And I was like, yeah, yeah. There are some spirits, some people where they're just not going to get it if you keep being like, I don't see you, I'm ignoring you. No, sometimes you got to be direct and be like, I see you. You're a freaking snake, and if you hiss one more time, you're going to
Uh-huh.
get what you came here for.
Uh,
I'm
yes.
going to cut your head off, and I'm going to keep going on, and I might ask God to heal you after I cut your head off, but
I'll
you will
use
get what you
the
came
cat.
for.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure you have, and hopefully you don't encounter that with where you're going, but I'm sure you're very much aware in the industry that you're in, everybody doesn't always have a good heart,
No. Mm-mm. Yeah.
you know?
They
So
do.
you have to represent the kingdom strong,
Uh-huh.
strong.
Or, as a designer, I
Yeah. I
do
was,
twice a day. I want to represent your brand. Can I model for you? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can you send me something free? And I told my girlfriend the other day, I said, I'm not sending away any more free stuff, especially like with the celebrities,
mhm,
um, because
yes.
it costs me to produce those things. It's not just free stuff. So,
Hmm.
and you can't
Right.
say to everybody, financially, I can't do that.
Hmm.
So, you
Right.
know,
Right.
there have been people that I've gifted stuff to and like celebrities and never worn it, never seen it. And so it sort of sucks because they sort of burn the bridges for other celebrities that have sort of done me right, but you got to be sort of guarded.
Right, right. Yeah, well, I think that they get into the area of just trying to see how much free stuff they can get sometimes,
Mhm.
and then of course they have their agenda, they have their people that work with them, and maybe it's just not pulled. I don't know, but yeah, I completely understand that. I have a question for you. Are you interested in designing handbags? Because I keep seeing purses around you.
Hold on.
Like, no, I mean in the spirit. Like I see you doing like designing purses.
All the Broadway were mine. I do handbags.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Cuz I
Yeah.
think that like if you go with that down that aisle, that's going to be another avenue that like really opens up for you really big.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I started with, hold on. It's right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started with these crazy pillows. All right. They're Napa leather,
Okay.
Burmese python, ostrich feathers. Okay. So, but these
Oh,
retail,
that's cool.
well, they retail for like 3 to 4 thousand, and I haven't sold one yet. But I feel like if you buy a 20
Yeah.
bag, you could afford the purse bag. I mean, pillow. But anyway,
Yes.
scaled them down to, I do are like exotic snake skin, ostrich feathers, iguana,
Mhm.
those, and they're like 12.50 or so. And I sold
Yeah.
my last month. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I do that. Yes. But what are you seeing?
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw it. I kept seeing purses around you. And so I was like, I gotta say something. Like, does she design purses? Is that something she wants to get into? But yeah, I see that. Do you have any angel encounter stories? Have you ever met an angel?
I believe in angels for sure. Um,
Okay.
and I'll never forget when I was a child, I had a dream, um, that an angel that began with the name of G, was it Gabriel?
Mm-hmm.
Came into my,
Gabriel?
I think it was Gabriel.
Okay. Yep.
But he came into my dream, and God, that was like when I was 8 years old. But I feel like when you see the butterflies with the cardinals, and I do talk to them quite a bit. Um, and
Nice. Yeah.
a really good friend of mine. This is sort of what started it. A very good friend of mine lost his 20-year-old son 3 years ago in an accident, and
Mm.
then I woke up and I
Mm-hmm.
said, be a designer. And that's when I started with the pillows, which took me to the purses, which took me to the clothing. I didn't start with the clothing. So I took a
Right.
picture once, and somebody said the lady that did the medium to me that said, I'm going to be a
Yeah.
designer. She's like, you have more than unusual angels around you. And she said, there's always one sitting right
Yeah.
there, shoulder. And so the next day,
Yes.
I take
Yeah.
a picture of the sunrise and I do like a little quote, bring out the best, always smile.
Mm-hmm.
blah. And the next day, there was an orb on my shoulder in the picture. So
Yeah.
but a couple people that are like, you have a lot of angels around you. So I'll take it. Send them all.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I've seen, like, a flash of light behind you, and I was like, "Oh, she has it," "She's connected with angels too, that's cool."
Oh,
Yeah. That should be the norm for us, though, like, really.
yeah. But when you start talking, a lot of people are like, oh, she's crazy, but I'm going to keep talking about it. If you don't want to hear me
Oh,
talk,
yeah.
keep scroll, do whatever, walk out. I don't care. You're not my people.
Yeah. But no, like, because you are talking about it, you're finding people like me that because when I watched your video, I was like, "Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I totally understand what she's talking about."
Yes.
Yeah.
You get it or you
And
don't.
that's the thing, like, we can't let other people, silence us because we know where that spirit's coming from, and it doesn't want the world to know that these things exist, that
Right.
there's good out there and that there is help out there, and that, we have guardians looking out for us and, making sure that we get done what we're here for.
Well,
Get it done.
that's probably the number one question I get on TikTok because I do talk a lot about God. And I'll
Mhm.
say, God told me to walk
Yeah.
on be and people are, how do you know it's God talking? And I tell them, if I get a thought in my head
Yes.
3 times, that's God. There's no
Mhm.
right Palm Beach. It's something like it gets in your head until you act on it, then it'll go away. And here's the perfect example.
Mhm.
Over 9 years ago, I knew of another gentleman in my area that was really had a hard time with
Yeah.
alcohol. 8 different times, go by this person's house and talk to him. And finally, on the eighth time, I pulled into the house and I knocked on the door and I was like, God told me to stop here because he said you have a problem with alcohol and I know you need help. And he starts crying like a baby. And he's like,
Mhm.
no, I said, God told me that.
Yeah.
He was like, really? I was like, yeah. 2 days later, he went to rehab and he's been sober 8 years now. So that's God.
Yeah.
You just don't,
It is.
how do you,
Those are beautiful stories.
how do you know when God's talking to you?
How do I know? Because
Uh-huh.
I tell people all the time, my thoughts are not his thoughts. His thoughts are always higher than mine, and they're always things that my flesh would say no to. So that's how I know he's talking to me. Like, when he told me to like reach out to you, and I was like, should I? I was like, I don't know. And he was like, yeah, yeah, reach out to her, like have her on your show. And I was like, okay, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like, that's not a natural inclination that I like me in the flesh have, or if he says something like, if I meet somebody and I hear the word like murderer, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just be like, okay, that's not me. And I don't mean I haven't heard that about you, but I'm talking about like just in daily
Right.
encounters, like that's how he speaks to me about different people and scenarios. Or I have this one story where I was working with somebody and the angels kept telling me that her husband was a woman, and I said to them, I was like, "Oh, is she a lesbian?" And they were like, "No, no, no, just wait." And so time went by, me and her got really, really close. One night, somebody walks in and it's a person that's transitioning.
Uh-huh.
And I knew immediately that that was her husband. And so she pushes him out the door and just falls on the floor. She's crying. And I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it. He's not like a woman, but they were trying to tell me like she's having a hard time. They're getting a divorce. You just need to be closer to her. So that's not a thought that I would normally just get like about somebody I just, start
Right.
working with, like, oh, her husband's a woman. Or I can hear, he has a lust demon. Um, or I'll hear things like, well, don't go that way, just
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it's like, and I'm obedient to it, so like if I get something like murderer, then I just say, okay, well, Lord, I pray that whatever is hidden in this situation, that your perfect will be done, you
Yeah.
know. Thank you for alerting me that this person has this capability, or they've done it. Because I honestly, I don't know. And then, like, time will stretch out, and then things they just come out
Yeah.
about people, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then I'm always like, "Well, thank you, God." Like, "Yeah, that was you. You know, you protected me.
Oh,
You definitely protected me in a lot of situations." Or he'll be like if I meet somebody and they seem like super nice and they're asking me all these questions, like he'll say to me, he'll say, "Don't tell them anything. Don't tell
yeah.
them anything." And
Oh,
then when I get out of the situation, he will give me confirmation that they were just coming to get information or drain me or try to stop me from doing XYZ or get involved or go to somebody else and talk smack about me. Like, yeah. So it's like
yeah.
thoughts that are higher than mine. That's how I know it's
Right.
God.
Driving and you're supposed to
Yeah.
go left, but for some reason you go right and it's the longer way home, but you go that way and come to find out an accident
Yes.
to happen. Yeah.
An accident happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if I'm walking into a store and he'll say that person's about to rob the place, you know? I just go sit in my car, call 911. There is going to be a robbery
A
at
TJ Maxx.
such and such place. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Stuff like that. So I don't know too, like if you've ever seen the TV show Joan of Arcadia,
Uh-uh.
if you haven't seen it, it's a great show. You have to find it on DVD because like it's not on TV anymore. And I tell people all the time that's how it is.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll see God in the flesh, and then yeah, he never comes the same way, but I always know it's him.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Like go to that store, go talk
Yeah,
to this person, talk to that straight. Yeah.
yeah,
I've gotten much
yeah.
more with it for sure. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely guiding. So like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and we're about that hour mark. So is there any other message that you want to leave our audience with before we say goodbye?
Um, just trust in God, have complete faith. You know, a lot of people are like, I don't have the money to do this or the money to do that, or I can't quit my job because I have to pay my bills. And sometimes, you just have to jump and believe that God's got you. Like, have faith, have faith, give it all over to God and go after your dream. If it's your, don't,
Yeah.
don't regret it. Like, we're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised a minute from now. So if
No,
it
we're not.
doesn't hurt people and you can keep practicing God's name, 1,000,000% go for it.
Mhm.
Best CEO in the world.
I love that. I love that. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I love my boss. My boss is amazing. Because he is, and the journey that he has me on, and definitely like right now, one of my major gifts has always been faith, but I've been struggling with it a little bit these past couple of weeks. And so when I see people like you, I'm like, this is amazing. Like this is God because he's showing me if I can do it for them, you gotta trust I'm gonna do it for you too.
A
And you just
million,
have to keep going. Just keep going. I know you don't see it right now, baby girl, but God. And that is my favorite sentence. If anybody ever cares or ever wanted to know, my favorite sentence is but God, because that's been my whole life. But God.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah. She almost
better.
died, but God stepped in. Yeah,
You're
she
gonna,
was homeless, but God.
yeah, right.
Yeah. She might be down today, but God, look what he does tomorrow.
Amen. 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am so happy that you joined us for this hour. I pray that you will come back because I feel like God is going to open even more doors, even more amazing things. I'm definitely going to continue following you on TikTok and, just encouraging you. And I'm rooting for you. You have somebody out here in the world that is rooting for you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what you're doing in fashion. And hopefully one day, well, actually not hopefully, I'm going to exercise faith right now. I will have one of your pieces. I know I will. I'll have a couple of them.
Oh, well,
And maybe you don't need a J Lo. Maybe you need an Eve. Maybe
right
you
there,
need an
girl.
Eve
Right.
to rock the red carpet.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
For having
Yeah. So
on.
that is well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. It was my first podcast. So thank you.
Yay! I'm like so happy. I'm so honored that I'm so honored. God is amazing. God is amazing. And people, he made people. So we got to love people. We got to speak to people. He makes us fishers of men, y'all. So we cannot we cannot be in a closet. We have to come out and we
Right.
have to show the world who we are and who he made us to be.
Right. We're all children
Yeah.
of God. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So having said that, I'm going to say it is a wrap. Another one
Ah,
in the can. And he should come back. Hopefully he comes back.
okay.